there is no bat, civet cat, snake, pangolin, no such intermediate host. If you really need to find some intermediate host between the original virus to the human virus, the intermediate host is CCP, Chinese Communist Party. The fourth thing is that if China government didn't do anything in time to control it, there will be big outbreak, even pandemic later on, very soon. And also, we will see emerging variants come out during the pandemic. At that time, no one dared to say that. But the evidence and my expertise let me realize that. And I have to let people know that to stop it. And the last thing is, this virus comes from the lab. The lab is not only the Wuhan lab. That is just one lab in the network. Be accurately, that is the labs under People's Liberation Army, CCP's army, China government's army. And the virus, SARS-CoV-2, the coronavirus virus, actually has some fuzzy, we call it backbone. That is really some bad coronavirus. It has a name. The name you may not heard, but I keep telling people from last January. The name is also the name in the NIH, the gene bank database. They called it ZC45. And also it has a twin brother, ZXC21. And this is a virus that in 2017, found by those Chinese military scientists from some innocent bat. And this virus become later on the father of our SARS-CoV-2 virus. They did a lot of modification, gene modification. We call it gain function. Yes. And then it becomes the virus you saw. That is a real family story of this coronavirus. Yeah, but they don't tell you. And I decided to deliver it all by myself. And before I get disappeared, I need to guarantee it is delivered. So, yes, at that time, I managed to contact someone I thought should be reliable. Sometimes you only have one choice, and I'm lucky. I did the right choice. That is Mr. Luder, who is taking the photos for us now. So he is the anti-Chinese Communist Party YouTube blogger. He has done it for over 4 years until now, twice daily broadcast, live one, 4 years non-stop. He delivers the message to Chinese, including through the daily news commentary, including that reviews the darkness and lies from the China government. Tell people American spirit, especially freedom. The third thing is help people to know the faith, because he's also Christian since he writes American. So I listened to his broadcast for several months, and somehow I think he would be the one I can trust. And thank you. And I managed to contact him through Twitter. It's also the first time I use Twitter. In China, mainland, you don't have Twitter, so most of my friends cannot contact me through Twitter. So I don't use Twitter too. So at that time, I sent him some message. Luckily, he told me many people contact him because his video reached to millions of Chinese people. So he has his own human intelligence network behind him. But somehow he said my message becomes the first one in the morning in his mailbox. And he checked it. And he somehow also decided to reply me. So we managed to contact each other. And also I spent 2 days to convincing him because he's a layman. He has his engineer thinking, but he's not a biologist. And it's difficult for laymen at that time, especially at that time, to believe 47 and even 62 cases will become pandemic. right? But he also chose to believe me because he said the evidence is solid enough. So on 19th January, New York Times Morning, in his broadcast, he delivered all these 5 messages out. I was anonymously behind it because I was in Hong Kong. So my people believe that there is a 7-year-old guy who's working in that and deliver his message. However, Chinese government become angry and nervous. So they realize someone inside start to deliver message. And they quickly change their strategies. So within 4 hours, and it was midnight in China, those people supposed to sleep update the case number from 62 to 198. And then again, immediately, they admit that more cases out of Wuhan. And also within 24 hours is the first time China government admit human-to-human transmission exists. And WHO confirmed it soon. And also, the next day, Chairman Xi Jinping updates this pneumonia to the same level as dangerous as SARS-CoV-1 in the Chinese infectious disease log. So they really start to change the policy, try to control it. And 3 days later, Wuhan lockdown, which although is very inhumane, but it did save a lot of people. Especially at that time, China government still plan to hide these things until at least another half month later. And during that time, they really plan to let these people during the Chinese New Year's, like your Christmas, when they fly over the world, fly all around China, and Wuhan is the biggest transportation hub in China. And then they can bring the virus out. The innocent people can bring virus out. And when you realize it, if it really happened, you even don't know where it comes from. And those people already prepared lies to you. Tell you it's from bat, it can be from rabbit, cat, whatever, and it came from America. And it is American virus. See, that's all they plan. And that's still they are telling you. However, since we start to do that, they have to change it. And they have to quickly throw out these things to, perfect their lies. So it's like the battle. I keep updating the things through Mr. Holder from Hong Kong. China government keep doing the defense and through the fake evidence. For example, a very famous one is the next day after Mr. Holder talked about the DC-45, this bad coronavirus from Army. Wuhan Batwoman, the famous lady you know now, she quickly submitted a fake virus. Fake, totally fake. I showed my evidence to reveal why it's fake. This fake virus called RATJ13, they told you they got it from the West China. However, military gets the virus from East China. They told you it's from West China because West China is all forests. And then you can spend another 100 years to spend millions of money to go there to find why it comes from that bad cave. I guarantee you cannot find because it doesn't exist. So all these things, all these fake things come out, and because they're in a hurry, they leave a lot of evidence to us. Now go back to verify. And also at that time, I thought China government pushed to do something. So we're supposed to see a better outcome soon, right? But no, China government has their backup plan, and they have their partners. Those partners, including the people you saw on the TV, like Dr. Fauci, and WHO, of course, and the top medical journals. So they are helping to make a lot of lies, to push you to believe it still comes from nature. China government is innocent. You blame China government, you blame CCP, that means you hate Asian. Come on. Just tell them you just anti-Chinese Communist Party. Yes, we Chinese people support you. And So they start to make lies. It's very difficult for people to believe from the beginning that how could so many big people, reputable people, big organizations lying to us? But if you think about something very easy, that if you get caught by some killer in the ocean, the shark come to you because they smell the blood.
Yes.
They doesn't need to be the helper they doesn't need to be friend of the killer. They just come to you because they smell blood and they realize, yummy. So yeah, that's why you see a lot of terrible things happen. Of course, CCP is behind. If you check the Pfizer, Moderna, or this big pharmacy, if you check how much stock share purchased by China before the outbreak, you will see a lot. But these are also sharks. So they come to you, they realize that Dr. Fauci not innocent, more evidence verified.
Yes.
And I'm almost the first one on TV to tell that he has his secret hiding.
Yes.
And he actually is one of the shark. And Dr. Peter Daszak, I'm not sure maybe many of you now know this name. He bring your money, goes through the EcoHealth, and then give it to China. However, that is not all the money China used to develop such new bioweapon. That is just very little piece. But he's not innocent because he knows when he do this, he get his things what he want exchange, including he knows China can help him to become membership in your National Academy of Science. That is revealed in the letter from him. So altogether, later on, all these things happen. You live in a world. This world, the biggest boss behind is Chinese Communist Party. They designed this virus using coronavirus. It's like playing Lego. So they have different kind of Lego pieces come from different labs. Each piece means one function target human. And then they put it all on top of that JC45 bad coronavirus, make it become much worse to target human. And in their document from 2015, written by Bioweapon General, they have clearly mentioned this novel bioweapon has to using coronavirus must look like from nature.
Yeah.
And if it was recognized not from the nature, don't worry. Misinformation and denial will help you to finish this. So that's why you now see all happened and you are bothered into looking for the real information because they keep cheating you. And all these things, why do they do that? Oh, answer is easy. They want to use communism to overcome the world.
Yeah.
It is their goal by 2035. But because of the COVID-19 things, they were celebrating their trophy. So from this year, in the next 5 years national plan, 2021 to 2025, in China, they said they are going to achieve it even earlier, based on their knowledge from emerging infectious disease prevention and control. And this virus, of course, is not an accident. Because I worked in the top lab in the world study coronavirus and emerging disease. I worked in such biosafety level 3 lab. And I can tell you, only thing come into that lab and come out live is human. Non-virus can come out by accident. Even if there is accident, there were accidents in the history in different countries because of very strict protocol and 70, 24-hour surveillance. This all can be controlled in a very small range. It won't cause such outbreak, and my intelligence at that time shows there were no such outbreak or accident in the labs. Also, they can sell animals from some common lab. but they cannot sell animals out of such lab.
Yeah.
Because animals come out, no matter if they are sick or they are not sick, maybe even just the ones they didn't use, come out as cooked body. High temperature, sterilized, all these things. No other way for them to have shower like us and go out. No way. So this is not accident in the lab. And turns out, this is Chinese Communist Party's plan to put it, to use humans to do trial in Wuhan.
Yeah.
Yes, they didn't want to launch the outbreak in Wuhan. They just want to try it because according to their document, they said clearly, we are designing this using coronavirus to target our enemy, to guarantee it can be everlasting in their environment, everlasting. You need to optimize it. How to guarantee the optimization? The best way is to use some environment 100% identical to the enemy's area. That is, I memorized their words. And this document I already gave to some people, and now it is on the media in Australia. It's also your State Department have talked about that. This is really their words. So in Wuhan at that time, I believe it is like early November or maximum very end October. They did trials in neighborhood in Wuhan. And because they thought they can control this in a small range, so they did that, but they missed one thing. This virus, after their modification, it become very high transmissible. So that's why it's out of control before they realize that.
Yeah.
Why it has high transmissibility, but they didn't realize? I can tell you. I'm the scientist published the real animal model, the proper animal model to test the transmissibility of the coronavirus COVID-19. And that paper published on Nature. That one was finished last April. So that means before that, they didn't use the proper animal model to test it in the lab. And this is a function not added purposely by them. This is a function more like, for example, you are decorating a house and some people doing the roof decorating, some people doing the floor decorating, but all of you forget that there are some air conditioning things. And when you finish all the house, you say, oh, so hot inside. And then you realize all air conditioning things. So this is a factor they missed. So when they release, it's like the problem. So that's why initially, remember China government said, it's under control. It's not human to human transmission, right? It explains everything. And since I keep telling these things until April last year, I was forced to leave China because I get warning from Mr. Luda that I will be disappeared. And the reason I dare to come to America is I believe that if in America, people cannot speak out the truth and cannot help to stop this pandemic, then there is no hope in the world.
That's right.
So I keep telling it. I wrote the reports. I do everything I can here. And I come to you today. I tell you what happened. I tell you what is the real things. Communism is very close. Don't think it's some story far away from you. Just very simple. If you still love this kind of occasion, you still believe in God, you don't want communism come to ruin everything and brainwash you and brainwash your kids. So you don't want them to mandate you to do everything, control any part in your life. Then fight against it. First step, let people know the truth of the coronavirus.
Yeah.